I came across a quote the other day. I was late at night, and I go to my bookshelf sometimes, and I have a lot of books I'm always reading, but I like to go to my bookshelf sometimes and pull down a book I haven't read in a long time. Well, I happened to pull down Blaise Pascal's Pensée, and as I was flipping through it, I remembered a quote I had read a long time ago, and I'd underlined it and I'd starred it, and it always mesmerized me. There was something about it. It was so simple, but it was so true in a way. And I knew it applied to my life, and I couldn't really, at first, when I was younger, I couldn't really figure out how it exactly applied, but I always remembered it. And the line was this: the parrot cleans its beak, even though his beak is already clean. The parrot cleans his beak, even though his beak is already clean. I read that, and I began to think, there's something beautiful about that. And it was funny. I'd recently been in Miami, and Miami has this parrot jungle there. And I went to the parrot jungle, and it was true. The parrots were constantly cleaning their beaks, even though their beaks were already clean. So I started to think about this, and I realized from one perspective, what it means is we're always polishing our skills. We're never resting on our laurels. Laurels were those sweet-smelling flowers in ancient Greece they gave to victors in games. And some men and women, put the laurels on their head and went around reliving old glories. It's kind of like Napoleon Dynamite. Do you remember that movie? I think that's the movie. And there's an old high school quarterback, and he's stuck being a high school quarterback and reliving past glories. I think that's the movie it was in. Anyways, rare beings, great souls don't do that. When I was in high school, I had the privilege of seeing Michael Jordan warm up before a game. And there he was, down on the court, with somebody rebounding shots for him. And the greatest basketball player ever, flawless game in many ways, was down there working on his game. He was a parrot with a clean beak, cleaning his beak, right? I have a professor who's relatively well known, and he's in the lab at 6 a.m. every morning till 7 p.m. in the evening, cleaning his already clean beak. His reputation is already set in stone, but he's older, but he's still cleaning the beak that's already clean. A lot of people are kind of like bears in the right before winter. They fatten up and go into hibernation. They say, wake me in spring. And some people with success are like that. They get a little success. You probably know people like this. They make $80,000 on a job or $100,000 a year, and they say to themselves, that's it. And they sit back kind of for the rest of their life. They found a job that pays them well, and it gives them esteem in the community, and that's it. Their life is complete in a lot of ways. It's over. Now, a cynic might look at what I'm saying and go, well, it's just graspiness and greediness, and you're constantly trying to achieve. That's not comfortable either, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. There's a joy in simply continuing to improve. And it's not neediness, it's not graspingness, it's just the way water naturally flows into the lowest point. So does a rare being. They naturally love to improve. There's no stress about it. It's just they enjoy it so much. And they do enjoy constantly achieving, but it's the constant achievement of something like evolution. Evolution isn't grasping to become more, it naturally unfolds. So rares have an easygoingness while at the same time being in hot pursuit of that which they want. It's not a gluttony. It's nothing of the sort. You could take a rare being and tell them, listen, you can no longer perform your craft. You can't be an artist, you can't be a musician, you can't be an entrepreneur. We're going to throw you into a solitary confinement cell for the rest of your life. And a rare being would go, this is excellent. I can't wait to go into that cell because I can explore the spiritual dimension. There's no situation you can put a rare in where they don't get excited, they don't get exhilarated about the possibilities in that scenario. It's rare. So you're going, I don't know anybody who does that. Well, that's why it's rare. That's why I call them rare beings. They don't think like most people. They don't behave in a manner that's typical of ordinary humanness. Most rares are geared to explore They're the explorers of the old age in a lot of ways, but they're exploring themselves spiritually. They're exploring the capacity of their skill set. They're seeing, how far can I max out my gifts that God gave me? How happy can I be? How nice can I be? How honest can I be about life and to myself? Am I great enough? Am I brave enough to face my emotions? So they're constantly expanding in almost every direction. But it's an easygoingness. It's an easygoingness. And then when they do achieve a high skill level, or they do become one of the top performers in their field, well, they like to stay there. It's a joy in and of itself to be good at something. Aristotle said, we enjoy the things we excel at. So rares understand that, so they try to excel at most everything they do. And then once they do excel, they attempt to improve, but they also just attempt to stay where they're at. They like being on the top. They clean the already clean beak. And what's interesting is as you clean the already clean beak, well, maybe you find it wasn't exactly perfectly clean. It can get even a little bit shinier, right? Your skills can develop a little bit more. You can evolve a little bit more. So anyways, that quote I was reading last night, and I thought, wow, 10 years since I read that, and I've always found it a powerful idea of how rares behave. They clean their already clean beak.
Growing up, I was always interested in the mental game. After years of study, I developed the BasketballBrain program. My life is devoted to helping others achieve their greatness. I hope you'll like, subscribe, and if you take a chance with the BasketballBrain program, I promise you your game's going to reach levels that you never thought possible.